This is film marketer Jeremy of tubervideo.com and ddsvideo.com. What I have for you today is a time-lapse video of me and a friend of mine, fellow filmmaker and director Jay Williams, putting up a set for a large education company in Chandler, Arizona. Now, if you've ever wanted to see a behind-the-scenes look at how a professional, but maybe not necessarily a Hollywood set, is put together, I think you're going to find this interesting. Jay and I right now are in a large second-story classroom, and we're working with friends Pam and Kathy. We also have another executive video conferencing in from San Antonio, Texas, so she's able to watch the shoot as well, albeit kind of remotely. Okay, so that's the setup, so let's get to it. Oh, and stick around for the end of the video. I'm actually going to show you what the actual footage looks like. The first thing Jay and I did was to establish an area, kind of a base of where to put all of our gear, and there's a lot of it. To keep everything out of everyone's way, which is just being safe, we chose an area kind of by the window because it's kind of the least amount of traffic is going to be over there. It's probably the best and the safest way to go. To make sure that we've got consistent and good lighting on our talent, now talent's another word for client or clients, you'll notice that we put the main key light, our main light, on the same side as the window. So we're using kind of a daylight color balance, which is about 5600 Kelvin. I draped a sheet over the light to soften it. That's kind of a very low budget way to soften the light, but it looks nice. With the LED lights that I've got, they don't emit heat, so this is safe to do, but for those older traditional tungsten lights that kick out a lot of heat, that is extremely dangerous to do, so it's something you want to avoid if you're using those particular lights. We chose the middle table to film the teacher and the students behind because we wanted some distance between them and the two cameras up front, as well as the background in the back. This kind of allows the background to fade out or blur a little bit in the video, which gives a nice cinematic, kind of a film type look. You'll see that I have a shotgun mic mounted on a boom pole that's right above the talent's head. Ideally, you want to get that mic between 2 and 3 feet away from the subject, and you want to point it directly at their mouth or kind of their chin area. You can see that there's a lot of talking that's going on, isn't there? And that's actually a good thing. A good director is able to communicate really with everyone on set, kind of lay out their vision, give direction, encourage everyone, kind of take input from others within reason, and make sure that everyone is comfortable and confident. And I like to have fun too. What I'm doing on the ground here is I'm actually checking audio levels on the shotgun microphone. Most folks don't realize it, but there is nothing that wrecks a video more than bad audio or bad sound, so it's essential that you get that right. You'll see that Jay and I have moved one of the cameras off to the talent's right side. We did this because we didn't see the point of having two cameras in virtually the same spot. It didn't really make a lot of sense to us. We were kind of capturing the same angle with two cameras, and that didn't make a lot of sense. So this was a good decision, but I immediately noticed that there was a problem here. When the student, and she's wearing the aqua and the blue there, when she looked at the instructor to her left, her face was kind of in shadow. It was very difficult to see. So when she turned her head to the left, the key light and the light from the window were really no longer illuminating her face, and that wasn't a look that we wanted. That camera that we placed on the very far right side of the room, we just couldn't see the girl's face very well at all, and that's not a good look for us, and we had to do something about it. So to solve this issue, I decided to move the key light to the other side of the room, so when the girl looked to her left, there would be a light shining on her face. Now the light coming from the window still does illuminate much of the room, and that's okay. It's acting now as more of a fill light on the talent's right side, so moving the key light to the very far end of the room was definitely a good call. There is a quick lesson here for up-and-coming videographers. Always be mindful of what does and doesn't look good when you're framing your shots. More important, if something just doesn't look good to you, if it just doesn't feel right, have the courage enough to say to yourself, hey, let's take a quick time out here, let's step back, let's get things looking right, rather than just kind of rushing through the process or just trying to avoid looking like you've made a mistake in front of a client. It's okay if you thought something would look a certain way and you decide to change your mind. A client shouldn't expect that you have everything perfectly mapped out in your head before the shoot begins. At least I hope not anyway. So if you need to pivot or you need to change your mind on set to make something look better, give yourself the flexibility, give yourself the freedom to go ahead and do that. Okay, so let me now show you what the footage actually looks like. Here's camera 1, and there's camera 2. Oh, and I did add a third over-the-shoulder camera that showed the instructor's computer screen as well, and here's what that looks like. Hey, thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed the video and a look behind the scenes at one of our video shoots. I do have a few other behind the scenes videos, so feel free to check those out as well.